Hey guys, thought I'd make a video on like how I make some stuff. Um, one of my buddies on here, Harvey, mentioned something about that he uses cardboard to make templates. That's pretty much how I do things. I don't really get into heavy math, geometry or anything. So pretty much this right here is the cardboard piece to make the adapter to put Chinese brakes on a 300EX, and pretty much I just put the hub and the spindle together, and in the house at the kitchen table, and it took me about probably 45 minutes to make this, and after making it, it really didn't have to make any adjustments to it, maybe a little bit more grinding in places. But it's marked for all the little holes and everything, to drill. To mark the holes, I got a punch that was broke off, and I kind of ground a tip on it, so it had a hard tip. And I just, all I gotta do is just put this on top of the metal, and then drive a punch down in the middle of those little holes to mark them. And then we got another one here. This right here was actually, sorry about the wind if it gets in the camera, I don't know. This was to make a new bolt pattern in a wheel. And I also made wheel spacers with this same one, but pretty much this outside diameter of this was made to fit down in the wheel exactly. And then the bolt pattern that's on this piece, my cousin actually put it on here, but probably to make it, probably just find exact center of this piece and draw a line all the way across, and then probably use a square, and you set the square so that the corner of the square is exactly the center and on your line, and you can draw a line this way. And then to come up with the bolt pattern, you take 144, oops, sorry, I dropped the camera, and divide it by 2. Go from the center here, measure out to here what this would be divided by 2, and pretty much do the same thing with, drawing on your lines. My cousin's a drafter, so I don't have a square, and I don't even have a protractor. How I came up with this is I actually found a plate in my house that fit perfectly inside the wheel, and I laid it on a piece of cardboard and drew around it, and I just took it to him and he put the bolt pattern on it. Measuring or converting millimeters to inches. Say you want to know what 144 millimeter is in inches, you just punch in your calculator 0.03937 and times it by 144, and that'll give you what it is in inches. This is pretty useful for there's guys on eBay that's selling stuff, and they live in another country where they use millimeters. So they'll measure stuff out in millimeters, and I'll use this to figure out what it is in inches. Motor mounts. Here's what the motor mounts look like completed. And how I make these is I pretty much, when I get the engine in where I want it, I measure from the frame to the center of where it's going to bolt up. And then pretty much when I make this, I'll mark it out where the center of the bolt would be on the piece, and then add a 1/4 of an inch so that you can notch it. And then I'll actually make these together, I'll vice grip them together. I only got one hand here. And I'll grind, the radius on the top, this notch in the bottom, and drill the hole out while they're vice gripped together so that they're identical. So, you know, when I bolt these up to the engine, you know, I'll try to make sure that they're even on the engine. But when I go to set it in to weld it, they're both the same. So it's going to be, the engine's going to be sitting in there as straight as you can have it. I thought I'd show you guys this thing. It's a little something I've been working on. But it's the gear indicator I'm going to put on the Suzuki. And pretty much it's set up so that you can have a light for each gear. It has a ground, has like a sending unit on the end of the shift drum, and each gear has a closed circuit to ground to the light bulbs. So this is like two pieces of plastic, and you can see in here, like the first layer I drilled it to almost the face of the piece, and then these numbers in here are stamped in. The place I work at has to put like heat numbers or part numbers on stuff, and we have stamps. So I just kind of borrowed them for a minute and stamped this in, and then I just took like a permanent marker and traced them out, and then kind of wiped it off real quick, and then it gives me an image. And then I made it 2 layers thick, and then kind of hollowed out the other layer so that I have room for like wiring and stuff, you know, wiring them together. Like all the positives will get wired together, and then all the grounds will come out for each gear. And then I'm probably going to make like a aluminum plate or something that will fasten on to you know, the handlebar clamps, and then this will actually bolt to it, and that'll seal off the bottom. So, alright, well, that's about all I got for this. This snow has like a 1/4-inch layer of ice on it. Made it like a nice little table here. So, oh, my knees are getting cold. I guess I'll see you guys later, or talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.